News, must-watch news channel in Europe.
Frigidaire. It means the first refrigerator. It means a history of innovations that help make your home life better. And now we introduce the new Frigidaire French door refrigerator with over 100 ways to organize for maximum flexibility. Built with adjustable flip-up and slide-under shelving and stackable crisper drawers. It's the refrigerator that flexes to fit it all, no matter what your day will bring. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Tough TV is the first digital broadcast network to offer first-run original programming targeted at men. Tough TV features content that men are passionate about. Sports.
No matter what happens in the fight, ooh, good right, left. He's coming on strong.
Lifestyle.
What we've done is we've created a technology that allows us to run video games in extremely powerful servers in service centers.
Drama.
Did you cause this?
Reality.
Welcome to this edition of Eye for an Eye. Now, today in court, we have the case of the reckless brother who tried to unravel his own family ties.
Talk.
Bam! We have a winner!
Specials.
I'm Dick Butkus. Welcome to the Butkus Awards TV special.
And movies.
Everybody on your knees, put your hands on the table.
Sports, lifestyle, drama, reality, talk, specials, and movies. Are you tough enough?
At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
This fall, there is a place, familiar and inviting, timeless and warm. Me TV, a place all your own that you can call home.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
This fall, home is where you'll find me.
You mean to tell me that's all there is to it?
That's all.
Me TV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Hi, I'm John Malice. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today we've got two guests on the program. We're live here in the studio once again after being on tape all of last week except for one day. Anyway, the first half hour is going to be, well, we're talking politics. One man who wants to be Fresno County Supervisor. In the second half hour, it's on the air, off the presses with Mike Scott. 436 Me TV, option 11. Back in a moment. Welcome back to the program here on Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Glad to be with you live here on Comcast Channel 187, 43.6, and of course now 13.1. You can watch the replay of the show today at 2 o'clock and at 8 o'clock again on YouTube and Biz TV. So a lot to get to today. Last week was an off week because I was ill for most of that week, so we had to run some tape programs. And by the way, before we get started, I want to mention a brand new sponsor. Proud to have a brand new sponsor on the program right here on Connect with Me. His name is Thomas Casagrande. He's a doctor, and he takes care of your eyeglasses, if you will, and if you need to have new eyeglasses or just need glasses, period. He is the owner of 2020 Optometrics. He has been the owner for the last 20 years. He's also the doctor there. He's got more than 2,000 frames. He gives the personal touch. Any frame that you want, any style that you want is on the shelf, and you'll walk out a very happy customer. So thanks to Dr. Thomas Casagrande for sponsoring this program, Connect with Me, on this day, on the air, off the presses, and some politics. Okay, So one candidate who was running for Fresno County Supervisor, this one is District 1. You have to wonder at this point if he's running an uphill battle, and I'll tell you why. Let's roll the videotape, my friends. Hey, tomorrow's Election Day. Don't forget that. Don't forget to vote. Talking about Blong, who is hoping to come out on top of Brian Pacheco again, as he did in June when he surpassed the Kerman dairy farmer by just 8 votes. Xiang has been a member of the Fresno City Council for the past 8 years. He is termed out now, and he wants to replace the retiring Phil Larson, District 1 on the board. Xiang is the first Hmong to serve on the council, and he spearheaded the campaign to get Inspiration Park done. He pretty much had unilateral support for that across the board. There is a lot going on in the county, though. We're going to ask him about some of the key issues and also why. Why? That's the big question. We all know and have read the papers, have heard Ray Appleton. Why did he endorse Mayor Ashley Swearingen for state controller? What is up with that? Live in our studio right now is Blong. And on this day before the election, less than 24 hours before voting day, he will tell us why he deserves your vote. And you can call in and question the man of the hour or the half hour, 436-ME-TV, option 11. Question today is why? We're back in just a moment.
It's almost time. Now we'll find out once and for all about Clark Kent, Superman.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a TV show.
Yes, but who is he? What's his name?
He's Superman.
Golly, Clark, won't that be wonderful seeing Superman?
Fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and television the MeTV way.
No one can do the things that Superman does.
The adventures of Superman.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here on Connect with Me, at least I think we are we? We back yet? Oh. Yeah, we are back. Okay, and there is the man of the hour, Blong, or the half hour here. So
Thank you, John.
Yeah, I just want to mention 436-ME-TV, option 11, if you want to call in on the program here and connect with Blong, because today, or tomorrow I should say, is voting day. It's November the 4th already. Where did the time go? You know,
what do you mean? It's been a year and a half of this campaign. I'm not sure what do you mean where the time has gone.
A year and a half for you, right?
It has been. They might say a labor of love, right? A lot of walking, a lot of talking, and having a lot of volunteers. So that's part of today. And I apologize for this look, but we're out on the streets. We've been out in the streets for a long time now. So
did you sleep last night? Or
I'm not sure. You know, this lasted 2.5 months.
You slept in those clothes, right?
Well, I had to make sure I get up early. So this is the only way to guarantee that I would be up early.
Okay, let me ask you, why'd you endorse the mayor? I mean, just you're talking to me now. You're not talking to Ray Appleton. Okay, level with me. Come on,
John. I've known the mayor for 6 years.
So what?
Hold on. We worked together for 6 years, and like everybody else that knows, I mean, I'm probably one of the mayor on certain big issues that we've been on opposite side on. But if you look at a lot of issues that we've had to go through with the city, I think in the majority of the time we've supported each other and balancing the budget, making sure that we're getting those services and getting us out through those 6-7 years of tough economic times. We've been able to do that, and so that's really the experience of working with our mayor in the last 6-7 years here. But like I said, that doesn't mean that when we're on opposite sides we don't still question and talk about it.
I don't know if I like that answer, but the caller is waiting on the line. Good morning,
already.
Caller. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. My wife and I have supported him through City Council for the past 8 years, and we appreciate his service, and we are going to support him for the next 8 years, and want to thank him very much.
Thank you very much for the call. Appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the call. That's a nice call. So do you really think that's a legitimate answer, what you gave, why you endorsed the mayor? I mean,
yeah,
that's your answer.
I think it's very legitimate. It's the person that you've worked with. You've seen them work with you, even on opposite issues. And I know that the mayor has the same type of passion to represent our valley, and that's really, we want to make sure that we have a voice up there in terms of our valley issues.
But Blong, I mean, no disrespect, of course.
We love each other.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, you opposed her on Measure G, and we all know what that is. That's the garbage issue, right? Okay, that was the long battle on the garbage issue.
It was.
You opposed her on commercial trash pickup. You opposed her fiscal sustainability policy. You opposed her 2010/2011 budget. You're a Democrat. She's a Republican. There's Measure G up there, our favorite topic here on Connect with Me. The Fresno Bee endorsed Pacheco and not you. Okay, you opposed her on all of these issues, and now you're endorsing her. It just doesn't add up.
No, but those are the big issues that you bring forth. We vote on, my gosh, my 6 years of service with her, probably 10 times those issues that are brought there and that we've been together on. You know, whether it's a small business plan to improving our service system or moving our business or a CUP process or business process through, those are the things that we work together. And understand on some of those budget, it wasn't necessarily the entire budget because we had to vote on some of those entire budget together, not individually. There were certain important key issues in that I disagree with. One of those, and I'll tell you one of those that ties directly with the county. Remember, our police chief came to the city and asked for the 5 additional beds that the city of Fresno had to pay for, right? We had to pay for that. And I understand, folks, and I told the chief this the first time, and I said, look, I support the first time, but I will tell you, if you come back the second time, even if the program was successful, I think it's unfair that the city of Fresno, the residents only, would have to pay twice. Because we already pay once in tax for the sheriff to make sure that they keep our jail, to run it efficiently. And now you have a program that comes in and says, only the city of Fresno residents pay for the 5 additional beds. Now, the last time I looked, the Board of Supervisors also represents us city residents as well. And I think that's unfair. And that's why I opposed part of the budget is because of that key issue. And I've said it early on, don't bring it back unless there's a partnership here.
Are we still paying for those
beds?
Yes,
we are. We are. We approved
After
the budget.
All this time?
After all, we approved that budget, and I opposed the budget because that's an important principal issue. Why is the city of Fresno residents, who is represented not by only the council, our mayor, but also Board of Supervisor, targeted to pay twice, while the jail, we all paid already once?
Yeah. Okay, talking to Blong Xiang. He wants your vote. Tomorrow's election day, 436, MeTV option 11. Hey, if you got any questions, if you're supporting him, if you're opposing him, if you want answers out of him, he's here today on Connect with Me. We're live here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Back in a moment.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Hey, we're back here on Connect with Me. I do want to mention that today's program is sponsored by Dr. Thomas Casagrande, the owner of 2020 Optometrics over there on Blackstone. You know, he's kind of in the same parking lot there with more furniture. He's been there 20 years, so go out and see him if you can, and appreciate that. We're here with Blong Xiang. Tomorrow's voting day, 436 MeTV option 11, and the election is upon us here. Now, you supporting the mayor, you think this has created any kind of fallout within the Democratic Party? Because the Fresno Democratic Party came close to rescinding their endorsement of you.
Well, I'm not saying close. I think there was a larger majority that was supportive of it. So I'm not sure when they say close.
Well,
you know, when it's
close in horseshoes, don't you? I mean, well, it's like playing horseshoes a little bit, right?
I guess, but you know, when there's a majority, not just a bare majority, but there's a large majority that supported that. You know, I'm not sure what that means. But I think there's two sides.
There was a riff.
Yeah, a little riff. But I think that happened to the mayor as well on the Republican side. Yeah. You got the extremes on both sides that wants you know, the pure ones. I'm not sure if there's much left of those anymore if we want to get things done.
You're no longer a thoroughbred. you crossed over the line. Anyway, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
I've got a couple of issues here. I just wanted to ask you, how do you stand with the baseball team leaving Fresno, number one, and number two, about the mall being renovated? Two big issues that really will hit the downtown area as far as Fresno. You know, I think he's done a great job. I'm not even worried about that. It's going to be a close race, number two. Okay, so that's how I wanted to ask him. But those two issues of how he felt. First, the team going out of to another city, and of course the renovation of the mall.
Well, let me agree with the the caller there in terms of that last comment about being a close race. He's correct. It is going to be a tight and close race, and that's why getting the vote out is going to be incredibly important for our race. But just for the Valley, we need to show that we care about what's going on, and voting is one of those. But let's talk about the baseball. Obviously, we're disappointed that they're leaving. But to a certain point, that's almost out of our control, because even when we came in to that contracts and how the ownership done what was already approved. But the thing that we were able to at least do is bring another AAA affiliate, the Houston Astros, to help offset during the transition team. I think, hopefully as they go through what they're trying to sell, and that's my last discussion I've heard out there, hopefully those go through and really fit into what we're trying to do here as a city. But the other big issue that we have to look at is what's happening with Chachansey. They're a big name sponsor, and they're going through a lot of legal issues right now. That would probably have a more immediate impact in terms of the stadium than the transition of the new affiliates.
Supposedly they're paid up through next year. The Grizzlies are with the rent. So it's a non-issue right now until we get to reach that point.
Which is over June of next year. So it's
got to be resolved by then. So we have some time to play with, a little bit of time.
I don't know how much time. You know how process work with the city. But should I answer the last question as well about the downtown?
I just want to ask you real quick before you do.
Okay.
Is it a blow to civic pride to lose the Giants?
I think so. I mean, you look at what we've had here in terms of the loyal followings that we have for our Giants. I mean, how crazy it is that that this is the third World Series champion that we just celebrated.
Unbelievable.
On even years, and I know we have a lot of folks that follow our Giants, and so to have it move up obviously will impact that. But we hope that we're also bringing an affiliate here that we can support, especially what it means to us here in the Valley, especially here in the city of Fresno.
Okay, Fulton Mall.
Fulton Mall. I mean, the things that we've been doing, and as I've said to our mayor, I said, look, Mayor, how many years of studies have we done this? At some point, we have to move, because we can go back all the way to the Hoover Commission, with their studies in the last couple of years. Even I think every mayor that has come through has had some study. At some point, we're going to have to take those studies and put into reality and move forward. And I think this is where it is. I mean, we need the investment. We need to make sure.
You agree with then the pulling out of Fulton Mall, huh?
Well, that's why we fought so hard to make sure that we keep a lot of the artwork that's still there, and make sure that.
But you're not opposed to it. Is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not opposed to it. But I work with the folks on the other side, saying that if we're gonna do this, then let's do it in a way that keeps the integrity of what the Fulton Mall was about.
Quickly, what do you do? Because I have a bunch of issues to talk about with the county. What would you do about Chachansey Park and the Grizzlies? Obviously, they've struggled for the last, 12, 14 years paying their bills. Obviously can't pay them, although they're paid up through next June. It's a struggle every single year. It's like pulling teeth.
Well, I think one of the big issue is really the ownership. And I think, whether it's existing or the new ownership that's going to be coming, how that works out, we really need an ownership that's going to be able to make sure that the team is viable, and how we run or manage and what comes into managing our local AAA affiliate. And then I think that will, to a certain way, help itself in terms of new sponsorship, new business that come through with the downtown. Yeah, I think the key is the new ownership.
All right, I want to get back to your support of the mayor, Jim Avalos of the Selma City Council. And a delegate for the Democratic Party said that he wanted to pull your endorsement from the party, and he said your support of the mayor fractured the Democratic Party here in the Central Valley. That's a quote coming from Avalos.
Well, I appreciate our council member from Selma speaking heavily.
Would you agree with him?
Well, as I've said, I already disagree with him. He was on the losing side on that. There was a larger majority that was on the other side. Again, that's the wonderful thing about democracy, right? Is that we're allowed to speak our mind and make sure that we are able to move forward at the end of the day, whether we're on the winning side or the losing side. Apparently, he still feels a little bit out of shape about that, but I think we'll continue to work together and move our party.
In retrospect, was it a mistake to endorse her?
No, this is a local race. This is an extremely important local race, and what our local residents deserve is our elected official to move beyond the party lines. That's what we want. I remember running for city council, and I went and talked to both groups, the Democratic and the Republican group. And after I was done talking, they said, well, Blong, we would love to support you, but you're neither party. I said, well, I appreciate that, but just remember why I'm here. I'm running for a local city council race. I want your individual support. This is not about the party politics that we cry. All of us, it says the party politics is divisive. It splits our community. And so now you have a council member or a mayor or people that said, says, it's time to put those party politics aside as we all are looking for and work together to move this city, to move this county forward. Yeah. And that's what we're doing. That's what our elected local elected official should be concerned about, is making sure our local elected work across the aisle, work across to make sure what is important to us here. And that's what we're doing.
All right. We're back in a moment here with Blong Xiang, 436 MeTV option 11. Call in, ask your question. Back in just a moment.
Barstools pull themselves out for him. The only thing Chuck Norris is afraid of is her. Cheers is the most memorable bar in the world. You may not always watch comedy, but when you do, watch Cheers.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program with about, 9-10 minutes left here with Blong Xiang, 436 MeTV option 11. And I should mention that got a brand new sponsor here on the program today. Connect with me, Dr. Thomas Casagrande. And he's sponsoring our program today. He's the owner of 2020 Optometrics out there on Blackstone in the same parking lot with more furniture. Okay, so let's talk about your union ties. SEIU. Union.
Let's talk about that, and let's really.
How much money have they given you?
You know what? I think it's less than the group that has given Brian the money.
Okay.
So let's talk about who SEIU is.
All right, it's the union.
Look,
Service Employees International Union.
So who are they? There are healthcare workers. Okay. Right? There are social service workers. There are frontline desk workers. They are janitors with the school district. There are sheriff or probation officers. So that's who they are.
But it's an issue in the campaign. So
well, I think they bring it up. I mean, they try to bring it up, but that's who that group is.
So how much money have they given you?
Let me see. I say probably around this round, probably about 120 with all the different partnerships and they have. But I've raised a good portion of that myself as well. And I think it's a legitimate issue that should be raised, because you should be able to look for both where our contributions come from, right? And this is open book. I mean, people should look at that for both where our contributors come from. And you look at mine, and you should look at my opponent, and you see where my opponent's contribution come from, right? 90% is from ag, and for the 1%ers in this county. That's what it is, and the numbers don't lie.
He's a dairy farmer, so it makes sense.
So, and I'm a blue-collar, hard-working folks, and it makes sense.
Right, for you to get the support from the union.
From labor and from individuals. Look at the contributions.
So you're not apologizing for that.
No, I mean, it'd be hard for me to fight the labor. I mean, the ag money, which has gone into. I mean, he's raised more than me. Yeah. Right? I mean, how does my folks, probably about 1,600 contributors, average is $100 or less. I have people that are giving me $1, $5, $10, $20. It's hard to compete when you have ag that's giving him $5,000, $10,000 a pop, and where mine are $100 or less, the majority.
If you're elected, you've got a board on there that's, it's, well, to a certain extent, it can be divisive. Maybe not as divisive as the council, but there are Democrats and Republicans on there. You might recall, 3 or 4 years ago, county workers took like a 9% cut in pay. I think that was 2009.
Right.
Are you in favor of restoring their pay?
Well, we're going to have to find a way to slowly and how would you say the word, stepped up to their pay, because there was a promise that was made by the Board of Supervisors.
So you're in favor of it?
Yeah, I am.
All right, caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yes, I wanted to ask Blong if he believed that having a high-speed rail station in Fresno is a benefit to the city of Fresno and its local economy.
Thank you, and that is a legitimate question. Yep. We fought that in terms of high-speed rail to make sure that it's done in the right way. I mean, those are decisions that are already made through the state. We've already heard about a month ago that the court already approved for the bond to move forward. Our job on the city council and our local official, I believe, is to make sure that the project benefits us locally, whether through jobs, whether through infrastructure. Those are my commitment. Those are the reasons why I think our residents elected us, to make sure that we work hard, whatever the projects may be from state or feds, that benefits us here locally, and high-speed rail is one of those.
Yeah. We pulled some video, went into the archives and got some video of the SEIU union workers on the picket lines.
Right.
You think they'll go on strike again?
I haven't heard that, to be honest with you. I have not.
What's your inkling, though? Because they just recently rejected a 5% raise, a 2% raise at the end of this year, and then by next August they would get the additional 3%. So if they don't get it, is there a possibility we could see this again?
Well, I don't know. I think to me, when we come to those type of discussion, I think it's just more opportunity for us to continue to talk and have a dialogue. I think what is important is that we're transparent and open with those discussions to build the trust and relationship. If we continue to make decisions that are behind the door, then comes up, and obviously it's going to be hard. We've gone through that with our city council effort in the past. You look at what we've had to do in the last 6-7 years in terms of those tough decisions.
They weren't happy with the 9% cut. They rejected a 5% raise, and yet the board members did not take a 9% cut. So there's a huge rift there.
Well, I mean, especially when you're making decisions. I mean, one of those decisions, remember, that they made to give raises during all this time to management. How do you go and tell your frontline folks, probably the lowest paid of the group around that area, says we're going to continue to ask you, and then we go ahead and give raises? But it doesn't make sense.
But the union workers won a settlement to that $2 million. To get that, you know that, and the county is now appealing it. Well, they don't want to pay it.
You know what? When the court system, if they made whether we don't want to pay or not, if it goes, if we,
they're appealing the decision.
They're appealing the decision, and so let me put this disclaimer: I'm not an attorney.
Oh, I know.
So
okay.
I'm not an attorney, but there's a lot of good attorneys where I worked with the city, and I believe it's also with the county. And you know, when we get these type of legal issues, and I can only speak from my experience of working with the city, you know, one of the first things I do is go and talk to our city attorney, making sure that I understand all the ramifications that is there.
This issue is going to be a thorn in your side if you're elected, and
right.
a thorn in the side of the board members. There's no question. What other major issues do you see on the table? Well, for the county.
I mean, besides this one, I touched a little bit earlier about the public safety side, about a jail system.
Right.
And that's going to be a big issue. We have to resolve that when it is.
I don't know how you resolve that, though, because there's a rift between the city and the county. There always has been.
Well, the jail, remember, is the county responsibility, not the city.
I understand.
So we're going to have to be more efficient. I mean, from our standpoint, is this from the city's perspective? You're 70% inefficient. So if we were to increase, which they started to increase the workload of our district attorney and the public defenders to move those systems, there's other activities that we have to do. That's one. The other mechanism is our social health safety net. Remember, we still got to transition into this healthcare system, and we haven't done a really good job. And that's going to affect all of it because we pay for it one way or the other. And third is the land use. And people say, well, land use, what does that mean? Water is impacted through land use, and growth is water.
How would you solve the jail issue? What's the answer?
There's a couple of issues that we've done. I think we've started, I said earlier, with the movement. I think they've just increased 20% in terms of the district attorney and public defenders. That's one. The other one is the pre-sentencing. How do we move them out of there before they even go into our jail space? We got to have those. And then third, what are some of our prevention programs that part of AB 108, I think it's 108 and 109 money that is coming through to make sure that we don't have the recidivism. And the last piece, you know, we do a lot with employment, our workforce. How do these job opportunities get people out? We can have all the training program, but if we don't have the jobs, then what do you think they're going to go back to?
But part of it is that the court system is moving very slowly. They can't process or you know, send these people to trial because the court system is backed up. So now they end up in jail, and the jail is backed up.
Not necessarily true.
Oh.
Not necessarily true. I did have a chance to talk to the chief court officer, I think Judge Conklin. And it's not necessarily the court system is moving slowly. We don't have the people in there to move it. You understand what I'm saying? If we have more people, whether in the public defender's office and the district attorney's office, then you have more staff, more people to move the system through.
But it stopped at the front line. The front line is the court system, and if the front line if it's jammed at the front and you can't get these people either in jail or out the door, the rear end is going to be jammed.
And the front line are those. Remember, our front line is through the processing, right? Our district attorney and public defender. We increase the volume. Also, on the pre-assessment beginning point of it, where you can actually, in some of them, you can actually do the assessment and find that they don't necessarily belong in those beds. So you move them out.
I do have to take a break. I think are we almost out of time here with Blong? I just want to ask one more question.
Please.
Supervisors recently voted to end a contract for specialty care for the poor and undocumented workers. Right or wrong decision?
Wrong decision, because that's our county, that's our responsibility. That's what we do. 70–80% of our money that comes through is through the social safety network. We provide that. I'll tell you this, John, if we don't address that issue, you and I as taxpayers will pay. You know how we'll pay? Because they're going to go to emergency, they're going to go to those rooms. It's going to cost more.
Borges, who sits on the board, said, "Hey, we saved $6 million."
Well, the funny thing is, we remember the debate, the last debate that we had, that had all four of us in there from the different. Every single one of us, not just me, every single one of those that says, well, it was wrong, and the first thing that they were going to do when they get up there is to reverse this decision. Ironic that you have four supervisor candidates that's kind of. Two of them is going to be new. That's going to come in and says, that was wrong, and we're going to reverse the decision, and we're going to bring this back up. Very ironic how that looks.
All right. Just quickly, why should they vote for you? You got 20 seconds, and then we got to go.
Experience. At the end of the day, you look at the 8 years of experience of governing experience, not just experience, governing experience of the largest city in the valley. We're 500,000 folks here, half the population of the county, dealing with a similar budget, and has had to make tough decisions, not sat on the sideline, made tough decision during this tough economic times. That's what you want. That's what I think our local residents deserve. Someone that's going to go there, understand how difficult it is, and make those tough decisions, and making sure that people understand and appreciate that.
Okay, it's good to see you. Good luck tomorrow. Election day is here, almost.
Thank you. Thank you, and please, Fresno residents, go out and vote November 4th. Extremely important for our valley, extremely important for our county, extremely important for our city. Thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Hey, listen, and if you get elected, you'll come back, I'm assuming, as a sitting board member?
You know what? Every time you've asked, I've always tried to be here. I love your show. You know, you ask me some tough questions, but at the end of the day, it's fair.
Thank you. All right, Blong, good luck to you tomorrow. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
All
sir.
Right, we'll see you after the election. You come back on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's going to do it for this half hour. We're going to come back in just a moment. Our show today sponsored by Dr. Thomas Casagrande, the owner of 2020 Optometrics. Back in just a moment.
The Ballad of Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney were lawmen, bravest you ever did see. Warned every crook in the record book to stay out of Mayberry. They were the law.
Yes, they were the law, and they didn't know fear.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I guess to sum it up, you could say there's three reasons why there's so little crime in Mayberry. There's Andy, and there's me, and baby makes three.
Now on MeTV Fresno.
Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89. So call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highway.
That's for us, good buddy.
The Men of Chips are on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Baker. I'm John Baker. It's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there.
Officer Poncherello, ma'am.
Frank Poncherello.
Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada.
Now on MeTV Fresno. Xfinity 187.
We get our speed from Mom and Dad. They do stuff super fast. And now they got this new kitchen, so they're even faster. So they can help us with our free throws.
The time-saving Frigidaire Gallery line with a quick preheat and smudge-proof stainless steel that resists fingerprints and cleans easily. It's mealtime in no time, from start to clean. Frigidaire Gallery.
Save more during Frigidaire Gallery bonus days when you buy 3 or more qualifying appliances. See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
watch Dr. TV on over-the-air channel 13.9.
The day before the election, November the 4th here. You're watching us on Comcast Channel 187, 43.6 and 13.1. And I do want to mention, and I'm going to mention it throughout the show, this show today specifically sponsored by Dr. Thomas Casagrande, the owner of 2020 Optometrics. More than 2,000 frames to choose from out there, right next to the Fresno Suit outlet in the same parking lot with more furniture. And if you want the perfect glasses, the perfect style, Dr. Casagrande is the man to see. All right, our second half hour on the air, off the presses, and always, always glad to have this person in the building today. One of the things I want to talk about, too, I want to get his take on this, is what's going on out there at Xiang Casino. Oh, my goodness. I mean, this is courtesy of the Fresno Bee, of course, this video taking place last month in October, early part of, and the Gold Resort and Casino shut down. You know, you'd think it was a showdown between Matt Dillon and some bad guy on Gunsmoke. I mean, guns were drawn. There were no arrests made, but the Madera County Sheriff's Department came in. The McDonald's and the Lewis group, those are the two, I guess, factions you could call them, the tribal factions. It's almost like the Hatfields and the McCoys going at it. The problem is who controls the money. That's the big issue. So federal judge O'Neill came in and he said, you know what, I'm shutting this place down. Then there was a hearing earlier last week to revisit the issue, whether or not to keep this place shut down or reopen it. Right now, the judge felt, nope, this place is staying shut down, I guess, for the safety of all, including the patrons, especially the patrons, cannot go into Xiang, a big blow to the economy here in the Central Valley. And by the way, there's a proposition on the ballot, and we're going to talk about all this tomorrow. Should another tribal faction be allowed to build another casino someplace in Madera? This is such a hot issue, and it has been for the past month. Live in our studio right now is our guy, Mike Scott. And who better to talk about that than this guy right here, formerly of Channel 47. He was there for years and years and years, has covered the Central Valley for the better part of 2 decades and knows it probably just as good as anybody, if not better. 3 decades. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, what's a decade here, a decade there? You know, it's time flies so fast we lose track of it. Back here on the program, 436 MeTV option 11. Happy to have Mike Scott along again. Back in a moment.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Back here on the program, the day before Election Day. Are you, Mike, are you tired of the ads yet?
Is there an election? Actually, this is one of those elections that virtually nobody's going to turn out for, unfortunately. No.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do you really think there's a lot of interest in this election?
I don't know. It's midterm elections. I don't know. There's a possibility that the Republicans could take over the Senate in D.C. There's that. Plus, there are all these local races that seem very important. I mean, the Blong race, the other race in the county, the city council race, Soraya and what's his name, Catalano.
I just don't hear a lot of people in the community talking about this election. I really don't. And I think it's going to be a very low turnout. I haven't heard from the county clerk's office what they expect the turnout to be, but I think it's going to be very low, unfortunately. That means a very few people decide for all of us who's going to represent us.
Hey, what's going on, in your opinion, about this Xiang Casino? I mean, you've been around here a lot longer than me.
Yeah. I've spent money up at Xiang.
Yeah, you have. A little lighter in the pocket, are you there, Mike?
Until they took the pie gow tables out of there. It is a sad situation. And, man, that place was making millions, and now it's shut down. The economy of Madera County is taking a hit because they did donate a lot of money to the fire departments up there and to charitable groups. We're all waiting to see what happens with Xiang Park. I mean, what's happening with the Grizzlies? Yeah, the tribe gave $1 million a year to have their name on the Xiang Casino, or in the the ballpark there. So I mean, the ripple effect is unbelievable. And why can't the two sides sit down? I mean, how deep is this feud that they can't sit down and resolve it? I mean, they must really, really hate each other.
This is like a nasty divorce, isn't it? I mean, it really is, with like 5 kids involved, and they can't agree on anything. And when there's, like I say, you know, I agree with you. When there's so much money at stake, by the way, we got to call her, $1 million a day, how can you not sit down at the table and negotiate?
Well, and there's millions of dollars missing. That's the audits.
The
Where
audits.
did that money go? Wow.
Hey, caller, go ahead. You're on with Mike Scott.
Yeah, a couple of questions to Mike, and I kind of miss him too on the TV. I think you guys are the best ones on the show. Both of you are, Mike but here's a couple of questions real quick. As far as the casino is concerned, it's all about the power, okay? And then where the money goes, who's getting it or whatever. Like you were saying, Mike, they're going to hurt the economy, okay? The longer they stay out, and they don't, you know, they're not going to say, well, who's right, who's wrong. All they want is the power. That's it. I don't want to say any more about that because there's a couple of other casinos anybody can go to, okay? And that's not going to change. Having another casino in Madera, I think it's a wrong move. Number one, because of water, okay? That's a big issue. And the safety of the people is another issue, the environment too. But that's another issue. Now, another thing, Mike, about the park. I mean the Giants leaving the town, that hurt us. That's another issue about the economy is taking away money from us. You know, I was a big fan, and I still was until the Giants got their third World Series. You know, so but those issues can be solved real easy with the city council. Okay. Mayor Ashley, she messed up. She should have been involved in that whole process. And you know, I'm not a smart person, but a person that is aware of what goes on around the Fresno area. The mall, it's going to have to be a competition between the north side and over here, and the mall. You're not going to get a lot of people coming over here, especially because a lot of the people are from the outside, rural, small towns, you know, and they don't have the money to burn. Okay, the way the economy is. Yeah. So those are the issues I'm kind of worried about. The city council doesn't want to hear the people. And about the voting, as far as voting tomorrow, it is going to be a low turnout. Why? They're both, I mean, everyone's mad with the Republicans and the Democrats.
Okay.
They say, well, if it's going to be this way for another year or two or whatever, why should we vote? Yeah. We're not gonna solve the problem. They do not want to settle down on the table and, settle anything.
Okay.
And that's all I want to say.
Thank you for the call.
Thanks.
I appreciate it very much.
He had opinions on everything.
Yeah, so we kind of run the gamut there a little bit. Got to go to break. Okay, we're here with Mike Scott. We'll get his take when we come back here. 436 MeTV option 11. Back in just a moment.
At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
Back here on the program, 436 MeTV option 11 with Mike Scott, the one and only. So how in your opinion, does this Chachansey thing get resolved?
Boy, I don't know. The real issue is who is in the tribe. You know, that's why there's this big split. There was this vote or whatever years ago when they threw a lot of people out of the tribe. They said, you don't get a cut of the casino profits. That's where it all started, and that's never been resolved. And until that is resolved, of course, everybody wants a little piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And boy, this multi-million-dollar casino sitting there now empty. How sad is that?
They were making $1 million a day, and you would think, and see, I always say, okay, it's the old adage, follow the money. In this case, the feds are following the money.
Yeah.
Because of the audits.
There's millions missing, supposedly.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. But
and maybe that place will not be reopened until they figure out those audits and where that money went.
All the people that are out of work as a result of this that worked up there.
It was over 100 people, well over 100,
way over
100.
100, maybe 1,000. I'm not sure, but it was a lot of people.
But how many people were laid off recently? I read that in the paper and I forgot.
I don't know the number.
Yeah.
I don't know the number. But all the people that go to Yosemite that stayed at that hotel and spent their money there, where are they going now? They're not. That money's not going into the Course Gold community.
Now, of course, we've got Proposition 48 will allow maybe supposedly another casino out there, Madeira. And we had somebody from Madeira here on the program last week, or was it the week? It was a week before.
One of the politicians?
No, somebody with the school district. Actually, it was a politician running for, what was it, city council or something. What was that? Mona Diaz. That's right, Mona Diaz. And she was saying, where else are we going to create jobs in Madera County? There's no other way to create jobs.
I know.
Open up a casino and you've got all kinds of jobs. You've got over 1,000 jobs.
I think it's interesting that they use the water argument against the casino. Really? I mean, if you use a bathroom at the casino and flush the toilet, you're not flushing it at your house. So I mean, I don't buy that water argument really. That the casino's going to soak up all this water that we don't have.
Yeah, but how many casinos can we build out of Madeira? Just because there are no jobs there, do we just build a casino and create jobs? I mean, I don't know.
Well, the Madeira location though gets all those people driving along 99 that aren't necessarily going to go off to Table Mountain or Chickchancy or any of the other casinos we have. We have what, 4 now in the valley?
Yeah.
Tachi, Eagle Mountain. Oh, and what's the small one up in Auberry? We have 5, I guess.
Yeah, 5.
Now we'll have 6 if the new one is confirmed.
What do you do with Chickchancy Park? And how does the city, in your opinion, force the issue? Do they need a new owner?
Well, it's up for sale.
You can't get blood out of a stone, meaning Chris Cummings, the owner. He doesn't have the money. And now with Chickchancy Casino being shut down, of course, they're paid through next June. But June is not that far away. It's 6-8 months away. So
maybe another casino will step up and it'll be Table Mountain Park. Who knows?
Yeah. But how do you deal with that, in your opinion? How does the city...
I don't know. The city couldn't do anything about the Giants pulling their affiliation. The Giants wanted to go to Sacramento. That was a done deal.
Yeah.
It makes sense for them. Sacramento is tied more closely to the Bay Area than Fresno is.
But Mike, you have to wonder, after all these years they've been in Fresno, they were here for 14 years.
The players were not happy from San Francisco, were not happy about having to play in Fresno. They would rather be in Sacramento.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Brandon Belt years ago when he played here, wrote a really nasty thing on his blog about how his wife wasn't happy here, didn't feel safe in Fresno, their car was stolen from their apartment, and basically that was the feeling with the team members, they did not like Fresno. They wanted the team to move.
Yeah, and so now you have this beautiful ballpark, and some say it should have never been built. There are others who say, yeah, you should have built it, but it should have been smaller. What do you think of some of these arguments? I mean, come on, this is after the fact.
It's after the fact. It's
the
here.
ballpark is here.
It's a beautiful park. I wish they would utilize it more. We'll see what happens with the new team coming in. I mean, you can still go out and have a great night of fun watching a ball game. Just because they're not affiliated with the Giants, it really doesn't change anything to me as far as a fun night out with the family watching a ball game.
Yeah, a fun night out with your friends or your family. But then you won't be able to go to say that I went and saw Joe Panic or Andrew Suzak. Panic is now a star with the Giants, it seems like, at second base. So there's not that affiliation with that San Francisco team, and it's kind of a blow to civic pride in a way, isn't it?
It is absolutely. But again, I don't know what the city can do. What's happened has happened.
Yeah.
The Giants are gone. Let's move on. Are we going to support the team that's coming in, or are we just going to watch the park shut down?
What do you make of the Fulton Mall decision to tear that thing out? You've been here for what?
Since 1983.
Okay.
And I used to love that mall, and I was against them. I was against the plan to bring the traffic back to the mall. But I'll tell you what, I was down there last week.
Okay.
I went down there for lunch, a little place called Coffee Bean, I think, and the mall is just a mess. I'm just going to say it. It's
really?
Dirty. It's not taken care of. There are homeless people. There are nasty-looking people all over the place. I didn't see anybody shopping. The mix of stores down there is not going to attract anybody in my opinion. It's sad because, as I said, I was a believer in that downtown pedestrian mall for years and years and years. And now, after what I saw last week, I think they need to do anything to bring people back downtown.
You know, here's the thing. We've got some 16mm film here, if you can believe that.
When was
Color,
that, the 60s?
no less, in the 60s when
Wow.
the mall was first built.
It was beautiful.
Just absolutely beautiful. But I guess, you know, it's outdated now. And, you know, these malls here up and down California are a thing of the past. They're thinking about tearing out their mall in Sacramento, their K Street Mall. So, according to some of the experts, you know, malls like this, they just don't make money, and the businesses don't make money. So I don't know. I guess you're right. I haven't been down the Fulton Mall in a while, but it's dead, huh?
It was dead. It was dead. And I think I told you this on one of the other shows that I was on with you, that years ago, when they were talking about where to build the new Fresno City Hall, the experts said they should have put it on the Fulton Mall.
Mm-hmm.
You put a big new building or an existing building there with hundreds, thousands of people working there every day. Those people are going to go to lunch every day. They're going to shop every day. Instead, they moved the City Hall several blocks away from the mall. I think if they would have located the Fresno City Hall on the Fulton Mall, it would be a totally different situation today. It would have spurred more restaurants coming in, spurred new businesses. Maybe other government agencies would have also located on the mall. Boulder, Colorado is where we went to. They have a very successful downtown mall, and the folks there said the exact same thing. Their city hall is on the mall. Their county offices are on their mall. Hundreds of people every day at lunchtime out walking the mall, eating. Fresno made a mistake putting the city hall where it is now.
Yeah, they need to make that like almost like a mini river park, that whole area, so it can attract people, not push people away.
Yeah.
All right.
The parking's a mess down there too, unfortunately. I looked for a parking spot for 15 minutes the other day when I was down there.
Not good.
People aren't going to do that.
All right, Mike Scott is here. He's our guest. 436-ME-TV, option 11. And this program, Connect With Me Today, sponsored by Dr. Thomas Casagrande, the owner of 2020 Optometrics.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back here on the program, Connect With Me, 436-ME-TV, option 11. A few minutes left here with Mike Scott. So getting back to the election, you know, let's go. I got some pictures
Is
here.
there an election tomorrow?
I know. Can you believe that? You know, this thing is between Gamoyan and Hill. You know, the ads really make me laugh. It's turned really ugly and nasty. There's Gamoyan right there. She was on the program a couple of weeks ago, I guess. And Rachel Hill has not appeared. She's hard to pin down. I don't know. What do you make of this race here?
Honestly, I have not followed this race closely enough to really comment on it. But I want to say, as nasty as some of the commercials are here, I was in Florida a couple of weeks ago, and their commercials down there, woo! When I saw one of the commercials for their governor's race, I about fell off the bed when I was watching it. They accuse each other of almost everything. They make our commercials look mild, but
here's another race that's really intriguing, and just to watch this thing, they were both on the program, Valadeo and Renteria, and of course Valadeo's the incumbent, and Renteria apparently is making a run, an honest run at this guy. She's a Democrat, of course, and there she is.
Is this the race where they said she's moved into the valley from out of the area?
Out of the area, to run for Congress. And how dare her? How dare she do that?
How dare she move?
That's against the law. You can't move here. All right, and then you got Andy Viadek and Chavez, the former Fresno Unified School Board member. You know, my favorite ad is the one against Viadek. It says Andy Viadek, just another Sacramento
politician. Well, he's a politician. He's in Sacramento, so you could say that about anybody in Sacramento.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, you and I should get involved in some of the writings, you know, for these commercials, because they really are hilarious. I mean, they are creative.
I've been approached to run myself. You probably have too, and I don't want to put myself through it.
It was a long time ago. I was still at KMPH, and I didn't want to. But when did they approach you?
When I lived in the Tower District many years ago, I was approached to run for city council in that area. And number one, I would have had to quit my job back then to run. You obviously couldn't stay on TV like Clint Olivier.
Right. Or Rich Rodriguez.
Yeah, true.
Remember?
True.
Yeah.
It just didn't interest me at the time. Didn't interest me.
Well, okay, we got a phone call? Okay. Let's take a call here with Mike Scott. You're on the air, caller. Go ahead.
Couple of questions real quick, Mike.
Yeah.
Do you think the Senate's going to be lost to the Republicans?
Well,
You always hear the Fox stations always talking about the Republicans are going to win and they get their numbers and all that. Okay. Number one, I don't think it's going to be a close race, but I don't think, number one, because Hillary's going out there and pushing it, and she has more say-so than Barack, okay? Barack Obama, they try to just, stay away. Stay away here. So they've brought in Hillary and Bill both to go out to do all the talking, because she's going to go out. She's going to be the one to go for the president anyway. So hey, let's get her out there, okay? That's the first question. The second question is if you were in charge, if you were mayor at Fresno, you would have been great. But they brought in a team from nowhere, Houston or whatever. Nobody's going to go. I don't know why they didn't try to push the Dodgers, some kind of bring them over here, because if it wasn't going to be the Giants, it would be the Dodgers, and they got a big fan, base fan over here. So those two, could have easily come over here and done it. But the issue here at the stadium was this: the lighting and the parking, because they had to park so far, and the security. That was another issue. At the beginning, when they first came out, it was great because the families would all come out and all that. They didn't mind it. But man, I tell you, you talk about 7 or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. There's no lighting where they park their cars and they can get vandalized. No security.
Okay.
So those are two issues. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mike.
Listen, the Grizzlies did not want to lose the Giants. They did not. I mean, they can talk about how happy they are with this new team, but the truth is they were very upset when the
Dodgers had
no
chance at coming.
Yeah, the Dodgers had their own AAA team.
Yeah.
So support the team that's here. I mean, what choice do we have? Are we going to let this stadium and the team go to pieces because we're not happy about the Giants leaving? The Grizzlies didn't want the Giants to leave. It wasn't the Grizzlies' choice.
No, it really wasn't. And how can we answer the other question? We don't know what's going to happen in the Senate race.
Right.
But I want to get to Mike Scott. Because it's been about a year and a half since you left 47. You retired. Yeah. You look so much more relaxed and happy. Every time I look at Facebook, you're in some different part of the country or the world. You just recently came back from Disney World.
Disney World in Florida. And the 2 Universal
Mickey.
parks down there. Yeah, saw the new Harry Potter addition to Universal. Spectacular. Yeah, I'm enjoying life. What can I say? And I have my own show like this.
That's right.
Every day on Central Valley Talk. Well, not every day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on CentralValleyTalk.com. And that's enough to keep my fingers in the pot and keep myself busy, enjoying myself.
And those are your digs over there. That's the studio that you work out of with Mike Briggs over there. I was over there for a while, just a few years ago, and doing a daily talk show. But you're on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 2 o'clock, right?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Hey, there's our friend Jack Scow. Oh, my God. Is he your bodyguard, too?
He should be. The guy's amazing.
Yeah, he really is. But you look like you're having fun.
I am.
And, I always appreciate your expertise here.
Well, thank you.
I really do.
We'll do it again.
Yeah. All right. Out of time. Mike Scott, good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, John.
Okay, come back next year. We'll have you back in January.
It's a deal.
All right. That's going to do it for us today here on the show, and we have a special election program here on Connect With Me tomorrow. Remember, this program was sponsored by Dr. Thomas Casagrande, the owner of 2020 Optometrics. Doug Vagum and Tal Cloud will be here in these seats tomorrow. See you then. Have a great day. There we are.